Hello guys, today I'm going to be comparing a expensive versus cheap um, 3D modeling system. So this is $250, this is around 20. This is Radar Omega and this is JR2 Analyst. So this one is very expensive and very nice. This one is a cheaper one that's more available. So if we look at, we have the same storm here. They are going to be have somewhat different um, readings, but close enough. Um, like if we go onto different tilts, we could see everything. So, um, let's start with the cheap one. I think we need to see what the expensive is going to be comparing with. So up here, if you have, I think it's like it's a paid subscription that I have. I could get 3D models. So it's this button right here. When I click this, I should get a 3D model of the storm. So when I click it, you can see kind of the depth changes, and you can actually like scroll down and see it. So if you look at the storm, it's kind of pokey. Um, Obviously, it isn't actually a 3D model. It's more visualizing like, oh, this is more powerful. This isn't. So, like, powerful, not as powerful, powerful, super powerful, kind of thing. Um, but we could see the overall structure of it. So we could see like how it kind of is built, but not super accurate. And so it's kind of spiky, messy looking, but it is like a little bit easier because you it's live. You don't have to download data for it, and you can see more at once. Because on this expensive one, you could see actually less at once. So, and we'll look at that now. So we'll just take a look at this part of this, or we'll just take a look at the overall structure of it for now. So if I click that button, I can select an area that I want to see a 3D model of. And if we look, we could see a very detailed model of the storm. So if we look in here into like some of these clouds, we could see it gets more powerful inside of them, which makes sense. Um, so yeah, let's take a look at it, maybe a more powerful zone, so that way we could see it better. So we could see the more powerful the storm is. So we could see it's red right there, so it's gonna be higher up. Um, and then we could look inside of the cloud and everything, and we get full structures of the entire storm. And like it's exact what it looks like on the outside, or not exact, but a very accurate thing. We get a little thing inside, but you can't see as much. If I start zooming, or like if I get a bigger sample, like say this, there kind of has to render in. You see how that kind of renders in? How like if I scroll back, it renders out. So you can't see as much, but you could see very detailed visions of it, and you can just also see an overlay of the radar, so that way you know what you're looking at. So the more powerful areas you can take a look at, and we'll see in here how it is. You can also see like or not in 3D, but you can see base reflectivity, obviously. So yeah, comparing the two, or looking at both of them for use, obviously this one is going to always win. This one is way more advanced, way better in my opinion. You can see better visuals of the storm that you're looking at, and I like the overall feel of this one. But it's super expensive. This is $250 software. I'm using a free trial, and this is like you get also the entire app, but it's like $20. So it's just up to you. And so now I think we should look at accuracy, or compare the two in a like side by side. So we could see this little part of the storm right here, this part, and we'll find that exact same thing on here, right there. Oh shoot, I didn't mean to do this. Um, we could see that right here. So this is the same part of the storm. Let's make it into this together. So wait, I'm stuck in drawing mode. So if we compare these two side by side, we could see that they both have pretty similar things, like how there's like this arch there, now there's the arch there. So that's pretty clear. But let's check out the 3D mode. So in this one, we could see it's like very pointy, like super pointy, goes up super high, but you could still kind of get a good like a more realistic approach at the look of the storm would be like this. So it's kind of higher up there, and then it gets higher like that. So we could assume that it probably looks something like this, or maybe like up, and maybe a little bit like lower here. So just like this, but lower. Um, but if we take a look at this one, we'll just get like that. We could see that it is not only more realistic, but just way, way better looking. But if we look, we can actually see that the drawing that I made goes up a little bit, up, and then there's a little bump. There's the bump, and then peaks up here. So yes, this one is less realistic, but you can build a drawing on this one that'll let you picture what the clouds look like. But on this one, you get a very cool looking three-dimensional model, like actual three-dimensional model of this, that you can actually look into the clouds and see where it gets super powerful. So right there it gets super powerful, and you can see how crazy advanced this is and like how it works, and it's just super cool. You get to see the which are east, west, south, north, and east, which is just another addition. But I think that this one is so much better. We can see that when it gets red here, it gets up higher, and when it's lower, it's less high. So I think overall, obviously, the $250 one wins, but this one is usable because you can make a drawing of what you think the cloud looks like, and you get a pretty accurate drawing. Just stretch this out more. But comparing the two, this one's cheap, so you can get it easily, but this one, it's mind blowing how amazing this looks and how cool this is, and you can study the inside and you can see every part of it. So yeah, that is my comparison of these two softwares for three-dimensional models. If you enjoyed, like and subscribe, and have a great day.